Hello and welcome to the 5th episode of my Big Brother reunions. In today's episode, I am reuniting housemates from Big Brother 5. It was full of fights, explosive characters, and much more. And this episode was the most explosive one we've done yet. There's a bit of an argument on this call, but it was great to hear from the housemates. We reunite Victor, we got Dan, we got Becky, Vanessa, and Emma. And it was just amazing to talk to the housemates about their experience, life after the house, and some of the things that kind of troubled them in there. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you missed any of the other reunions, Big Brother 1, 2, 3 and 4, you can catch them in the description link below. And don't forget to tune in on Monday where I am reuniting housemates from Big Brother 6. I hope you enjoy the episode.
We got a special reunion today with Big Brother 5 and we got some legendary housemates on. So let's say hello to Dan. How are you?
Hi, very well, thank you.
In the nicest modern bedroom I think I've seen. It looks like something out of a TV show. I'm loving it.
Well, I'm a gay.
That sounds wrong,
say?
Doesn't it?
Nice furnishing.
And then we've got the lovely Vanessa. I'm so excited that you're here because I had to kind of go on and on and on, and then you agreed. I was chuffed. So how are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, very well. Thank you very much for your tenacity. Because you're all a little bit like, ooh, reunion, Big Brother. But I think it's actually quite nice. I mean, I warmed to the idea, and it's actually really nice to see everybody's faces. And yeah, no, I'm really well. So thank you very much for having me on.
Thank you. We got Becky, who's kind of made a set for us today.
I wish it is a set. This is what I'm living with. Hi everybody. Thanks for the invite. It's nice to see everybody
Becky,
here.
where is that?
Oh, it's a secret, isolated. No, it's my home. It's my living room. I like to bring the outside in, but I like to pretend it's like a boat, and I'm on a boat. So if it just moves every so often, because it's rocking.
And then
What's your boat, baby?
Then we've got a very rare appearance. I'm so excited. We've got Emma is on the show. And I know you don't tend to do Big Brother kind of reunions. I'm so excited to have you on. So thank you. How are you?
Well, except for I look like I've just been dragged from a bush. But no, I'm good. Thank you for having me. This is very rare.
And then one of my favourite housemates of all time, just because he says it as it is. And I think he's awesome. Let's say hello to Victor.
Yo, what's going on? Yo, sorry.
How are you doing?
Set malfunction with me over here.
So I kind of wanted to go to Emma to start with. I got some questions for everyone, but for you, I was talking to Dan just before we came on air, and you went in the house, you had so much energy, but especially now when you look back, I really felt for you in that house because there was especially when you were interviewed with by Davina when you were removed from the house, there was like a vulnerability, and I just didn't feel you were treated fair at all because in the situation you were in, I never understood why you were removed, and I kind of felt like the producers would have known what they're doing. You gave them exactly what they wanted, and then you were punished for it. So, what is your opinions on your experience on the show? Does it kind of make you feel anxious when you think back to it? Did you enjoy it?
Do you know, I was I was diagnosed with ADHD, and I'm dyslexic as well. So for me to articulate my feelings is just a no-go. So for me, I was, when you say energized, it was because I had a lot of nervous energy, if that makes sense. But as I've grown up, kind of like chilled out, I maybe didn't articulate, I couldn't articulate myself very well, so that's why I ended up I don't even know what to say.
I mean, you were just, honestly, and especially when I watch it back now, and I know a lot of fans felt the same, we as viewers felt cheated because you were so entertaining to watch, and I just felt there was a lot more for you to give, and I felt sorry for you when you sat down with Davina and you didn't really know how to answer the questions because you just looked
I couldn't because of my dyslexia. I couldn't. I wish I would have gone on a tandem and gone and expressed how I feel and how this journey has turned me into a different person, but I just couldn't.
Yeah, like a mental block, and you just can't, because my son suffers from ADHD. And he's, you know, autistic.
Yeah.
And I also, when you're under pressure, there. It's only afterwards you go, I wish I'd said this. I wish I'd said that. If I'd been more prepared. Da, da, da. And you just sometimes you're so such a big thing that you just can't. Everything you want to say just doesn't come out.
Let's not forget, when you're being interviewed, you are bombarded with an audience. You've moved out of the house. It's a mad experience. You know, the best and the bravest and the well-conversive person is going to find that difficult anyway. You know, so I don't think you should be too hard on yourself. And specifically, I think that Big Brother was a meanie. You know, I think they really worked hard at being kind of beasts to us and pushing us to being the beast as well. That's my thing.
Yeah. I think there's a lot that I didn't quite understand as well, because we were so young. How old am I now? I'm 37 this year. So I was very young going into that, and quite naive.
I mean, I think a lot of fans are going to love at the bottom of the screen, we've got Emma and Victor. Because, of course, you two in there, you did clash heads, but obviously you get on now out of the house.
Apparently, something was said I think it was one of your family members, Victor, mentioned that my mum said something in the green room or whatever you call it, that my daughter's heavily dyslexic. And one of your family members apparently turned around and went, oh, our Victor's not going to, I can't remember. He's dippy. That was it. My mum said Emma's very dippy and Victor wouldn't appreciate it or something like that. Or whatever it was. So I think they already knew that if they put me and Victor together, it was going to be a huge clash. We've got a well-educated man there and someone from the actual slums.
I always remember the toilet incident. I'm sure, didn't you didn't knock on...
I would like to point something out. I saw a picture of Victor on his toilet in his home a couple of years ago, and I was quite surprised at that.
Where was this picture?
It was on his public page. Are you just
making these and selling them?
Honestly, I thought it was on his public page, and I thought, no, that can't be Victor. He's so shy, and it would embarrass him and now he's publicly taking pictures of himself on the toilet.
Victor,
no comment.
In the house, you brought so much entertainment, especially from a fan's point of view. Did you go in there with the idea of being entertaining? Because some people get complacent when they're in the house, but you kept the entertainment going. So is that your goal from the very start?
I wouldn't specifically say it was a goal, to be honest. Honestly speaking, I was just in survival mode when I went in there. Didn't know anybody. Didn't know anybody in there. Do you know what I mean? Simple as that. And some people, when they came in there, I don't know, maybe they call it nervous energy or whatever, but my first interactions with people are always key, because whether you're nervous or not, there's a way you should conduct yourself when you're first meeting somebody. If you respect yourself and if you've got respect for others. And, it didn't work with certain people immediately. Just got to be honest.
What you trying to say there, Victor?
It meant to work with anybody. I think you had 12, 13 people that were the most. It was about the evil Big Brother. It was about putting people that were.
Really strong character.
Victor's a very intelligent man, and you knew that I was a decent person, and you knew I struggled. You can see it. You're not stupid, and you knew that I was an easy target.
For who?
But it's a really pressurized pot. It's a pressurized pot.
Whoa, hold on. So I knew that you were an easy target for me.
Game. It was a game. So at the end of the day, you're good at playing games. I'm not.
We're all grown ups. It's always easy to point the finger. Hold on, I didn't interrupt anybody. Say your piece. I won't interrupt you.
You can't let her say me.
No, I think you're just very good at playing games. I wasn't. I was myself. So that's where.
I'm not sure what your agenda is. I came in here today for a chat, see some people, talk about a few things. I didn't come here to throw mud at anybody. I'll be honest. I'm not hiding anything. I'm not harboring
Relax.
anything.
There
I'm
we
not
have
harboring
it.
anything against. No, hold on, please. Let me say, I'm not harboring anything against anybody. Shit went down in there. Shit got real. Some people exposed themselves. Some people in here, those of us who were pointing fingers and talking about being vulnerable and you should know this and you should that. You should know yourself. Just treat people with respect. When you meet people, don't walk up to a black guy and go, yo, you're my M-word, you're my M-word, blah, blah, yeah. All my friends are
Who
where I'm
said
from.
that?
It's like, you did, Emma. Just hold your hands up for yourself, man.
No,
Don't try and
no.
blame
If
me
you
for things that
actually
you did. You
remember
don't know
what I
me from
said,
anywhere.
do
You
you
can't
know
go up
what?
to black
If
people
you remember,
and say
mate,
the
you're a
M-word to them like that.
well-educated
I don't care.
man.
I don't
You ain't
care where
even
you're
from the
I don't
hood.
care who
You
you
ain't
know. I
even
don't care
from
who
the
you're
hood, and I
from
will
with.
still
That ain't
represent
my
that
Wow,
right
business.
Big
now.
Brother
You
Where's the
don't
5
even
is
know
popcorn?
back.
about
So when
poverty.
you're
You
sitting
don't
there
even
saying
know about
Victor's a
struggles.
very
You're
intelligent man
a
and he knows this and he
well-educated.
knows
You're a
that,
Okay.
fake
just talk about
wannabe.
yourself.
That's
Just
what
talk for
you are,
yourself.
a fake
Talk
wannabe.
for
That's why you
yourself.
was fake in the
That's
house
all
and
I'm
I was
saying. Like,
myself.
I've let
And
this
I was
shit
trying
go,
to
Emma.
educate
You
you
gotta
on the
move
word
on.
where
You gotta find a
Negro
way to
came
deal with your
from.
demons,
Well,
darling.
what does
You gotta
why
find a way
why
to deal with your
Negro comes
demons.
from the
I'm not one of
slavery?
them. I'm
That's
not
what I
in the
was trying
cupboard.
to. You're a
I'm not in the
fool.
cupboard. I'm not in the
Guys,
cupboard at night
Let's
saying
move
I'm
forward,
happy.
guys. Because
Nobody
we want to
cares.
get through this with some good questions.
Nobody cares, man.
So let's go to Dan.
Move on.
Dan, you were a real kind of fun character in the house, a peacemaker. You didn't seem to get in too many arguments. What was it like being in the house for you? Because it was an explosive year. Was that tough for you to be around?
Well, as you've just seen down below, this is what it's like. And just for the record, I don't think anybody in that house was not, and Victor here's another. And if both are strong characters, they both want to get their point across. And as we've just seen, they both want to talk at the same time. Nothing ever gets resolved. When I saw things like that happening, I was just wanting to say to one person, right, you say that, that's your point of view, and you say that, and the next person give them time to hear as well, to speak. And it was constant every single day. But that's because the show had so many big characters in there. Everybody was a big character. I mean, Becky was only in there 2 weeks, but she caused so much mayhem when she was in there because that's what the producers wanted her to do. The show was designed to do that. And because of that, we got shed loads of viewers, and there's people still remember us because of that. So looking back, if you can move on, it was fun to do.
Yeah.
And I've not experienced anything bad from it at all.
I haven't.
And I mean, Vanessa, it felt like, because Big Brother 4 was everyone got on really well, didn't they? So people consider it a not as entertaining series because everyone got on. So it kind of felt like with Big Brother 5, they looked real hard to get people that they knew would kind of clash because they wanted arguments, they wanted drama, because the previous series, everyone got on so well. So how did you find it? Because I remember there were times you found it really tough and you got emotional in there. So what are your kind of memories on your experience?
Well, it was the closest to a prison sentence that I could imagine.
Except there was no bumming in the showers.
Sadly for you, Daniel. Sadly for you.
Not by me.
Yeah, no. Dan was going, oh, what a shame.
I think.
Sorry, Vanessa. It was like
No,
a prison.
I think we are all very strong characters. We all know our minds, and and we're all quite determined, and we're very individual and
Opinionated.
completely. I mean, I can remember meeting Victor at the auditions. Can you remember that? Yeah. You and Kat, and remember Pete, who won the following year. He was there.
Wow.
I mean,
Not murderer's row of ex Big Brother housemates.
Big Brother knows. Big Brother at the end of the day knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
They totally know what they're doing. We were little pawns in their chess.
Yeah. Guinea pigs.
We were being played, and we were strong, independent, opinionated, but we were also super ignorant. We didn't know
Yeah.
the picture. We were there to entertain the nation. We were there to make them a lot of money. That's what we were there for.
I think we were naive, and we thought it might help us in our chosen careers. And I think a lot of us, if not all, have that kind of entertainment need in us, in one way or another. So I think they fed into that as well, that desire to entertain and be noticed and be who you are.
It was the first time that they put a bunch of people in the Big Brother house that were already media savvy. We broke the mold. It was in the days before social media, but we were already eyeing media careers, a lot of us. And I think that said a lot. It upped the ante when it came to the contestants that it shows.
Yeah.
So we set a precedent, and then after our series, they had to keep trying to beat it with even bigger and bigger characters. But in the end, what they ended up with was just a lot of two-dimensional characters, where every single person in Series 5 was three-dimensional. They had depth, and they had a past, and they had things that they wanted to talk about that were really quite deep. And that's why people connected with us.
Stephen.
No.
And then Becky, I mean, like Dan said earlier, you did go in there, and in the time that you're in there, I mean, you're talking less than 2 weeks, and you brought a lot of
It's
entertainment.
decreasing by the minute. When Dan said it was 2 weeks, now it's less than 2 weeks. Come on, guys.
Let's have a look. Oh no, sorry, hang on. Yeah, 12
I was
days.
there for a small amount of time.
But you made an impact. So what was it like going in later in the series? Not going in with everybody else. Was that
Okay,
difficult?
because I didn't go into the original one, I actually thought I wasn't in this one at all. So I kind of like watched the first couple and then didn't watch it more. So I didn't know what was going on. Really, I didn't. And I pretended I did because my friend was a big fan and she just gave me some answers. Anyway, so I thought, well, I'm not going to win anything, and I'm, because the people at the end, they're not going to win anything. So what I'll do is I'll just entertain them. I'll pretend I'm Italian. I didn't realize that Ahmed spoke Italian. I wish I'd spoken French, because I speak French. Nobody else does in the house. But I pretended to be Italian because I had a friend who was Italian, and I just learned how to speak the accent, and I got carried away, Anyway, so I just thought that's what I'll do. I'll just do something different.
I mean, talking of Ahmed, I mean, he was very different. And you watch clips back now, and you kind of don't realise how legendary he was as a housemate with some of the things that he does. I want to go to Emma. What were your thoughts on Ahmed, and what was he like to live with?
I liked him at the beginning, and then I think he just put a show on, really. I think he was just trying to play up. I didn't see anything genuine about him at all.
And what about you, Victor? Did you get on with him?
Yeah, Ahmed. He's a great guy, man. I still get on with Ahmed to this day. Still talk to him to today. I saw Jason a couple months ago.
Is he gay now, Jason?
Sorry?
What?
Is Jason gay now?
Oh, I think he's dead now.
No.
He never
If I
was.
could-
Oh, right. I heard you like... Sorry.
If I could finish. So he was just a guy who wanted to do something. He'd watched the show for a few years, had a dream about it, went out, got on there, and from the moment he got in, he was ready to go. And maybe it was a generational thing for some people, and maybe some people aren't comfortable with different levels of conversation, and some people just don't get on. Do you know what I mean? But I found him entertaining. I still think he's a funny guy, and I know he's got a genuine heart, and I know that everything he did in there, he meant, and it meant something to him, and it still means something to him to this day. So,
who are we talking about?
Pardon?
Who are we still talking? Sorry, are we still talking about Ahmed? Was it?
Yeah.
Or just, yeah, I love Ahmed. I think he's a really great, genuine guy.
He's a nice guy, man.
And Victor, what was the most enjoyable moment in your whole experience? So when you look back now, is there something that stands out as kind of your favourite moment?
I really have no idea. Who is this question for? Is it for me?
Victor.
Oh, thank God for that. Yeah.
Favourite moment?
Talking to me.
You know what? I've actually never thought about that.
Yeah, difficult. What's your favourite moment? I don't know.
It is. It is. Probably, you know what? Probably leaving in some
Oh, I
ways.
thought
You know what I
going
mean?
in.
Because no, it's probably leaving, and not because of anybody or anything, but it's because when you're in there, outside becomes the unknown. Before you go in, inside's the unknown. But when you're inside, you don't know if anybody's watching, apart from on a
Yeah.
Friday when someone
Yeah.
leaves. So when you go out and you find out what the hell's actually been going on, all
Yeah,
the
okay.
pieces start
But
coming
that's
together.
scary.
I know it's weird, but
And what about you, Vanessa? What stood out to you as the most enjoyable thing of your whole experience? Is there something that kind of you look back at that makes you laugh, or a special task?
I think there's a few different highlights or lowlights. I think the obviously we had been kept away in Europe for quite some time, and then kind of brought back into England because we weren't allowed to see any of the PR about Big Brother.
Wow, okay.
Well, I was, at least. I don't know, I'm sure you guys probably were as well, hidden away in France and everywhere.
Belgium, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we went to France, didn't we? I forgot about that.
Yeah, for 2 weeks. And
Oh, I remember.
we got
Sorry,
into the
go on.
out seeing our family and friends for 2 weeks before even kind of going. That was a really quite emotional, because we're all, I think, you know, when you're close to your friends and family and you speak to them on a daily basis, it's quite hard to not see them for so long.
I didn't get
a
holiday.
I think I was the second person in, and Jason was there, and he was in this tiny itsy bitsy little leopard bikini bottom thing. And I was like, oh my God, we've got a professional bartender here. And he just walked around in his underwear.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I like, you told me that the other day when we spoke.
I was like, this is so cool. But it turned out he was one of the contestants. I think I spent a lot of time with Shell. We shared a bed because there was always like one bed less than all the contestants. So if there was a double bed, you had to share. So I shared Shell, and I can remember knowing that I was going. We weren't allowed to write anything. So I think my eyeliner, and I wrote her a note, and I left her my mascara because she knew makeup, and I was like, "You look so beautiful, mascara," you know. So, and then leaving was hectic. It was just like, whoa, you know. It was it was different levels all the time of different experiences, such a tiny space of time. So,
And I was going to say, I want to kind of give that question as well to Dan. You know, what was the highlight for you, and did you kind of similar to Vanessa in what she said?
Probably yes, I can relate to it all, but probably more what Victor said. It's difficult to pick any one moment, and I haven't really thought about there's been any one moment. Vanessa uses a great word. We used to take the piss when she was in there. She calls everything it's hectic, and it's absolutely, that is a really great word. It's spot on to describe your experience. It's so hectic from going abroad and not being with your friends and family to being pushed through the mill, the sausage machine that is the Big Brother house. Then you come out the other end with the word celebrity slapped on your forehead, and you've got a whole new world opened up.
Meat grinder.
And that whole period. You what, Vic?
Sorry, it's a meat grinder. Sorry.
You what, Vic? A meat grinder. Yeah, exactly. And you can't stop to think about it.
And Becky, going over to you, I mean, what in the house annoyed you the most? What was frustrating about your time?
Okay, well, I'm frustrated now because I didn't get a holiday, right? These guys got 2 weeks holiday. I'm frustrated for the second thing is they all got these pink suitcases. I didn't get that. They gave me Shell's one, right? And then I had to give it back to her, and then they gave me this plastic container. So immediately I'm stressed about that. It's out of order. These guys. And then they get to love each other, and I come in and they hate me, even if they hated each other. Suddenly,
oh, I didn't meet you, Beck.
I know.
Please don't paint yourself as an angel.
No, I think Beck and I was thinking about this. I mean, I didn't like you, and I'd never.
You didn't like me. So you didn't know me.
Shots fired! Shots
We're
fired!
friendly. You're all fake.
No, it was like
I'm not.
What's happening?
I was in this family.
I thought I'll do a Victor move.
Thrown out, and then this like the new girlfriend came in, and they all loved her, and I was like, "Fuck you, bitch!" You know, it was awful to see you kind of not take my place, but you came in. I think the day.
No, I know, but you thought I took your place, and then Emma hates me because I'm her replacement. I was like,
I don't hate you, Bex. I don't even know you, darling. I don't hate you.
No. But when I say Emma, I don't mean it. And no, you don't know me, Emma. We used to meet at so many different parties, and you'd always go, "Oh, darling, we must meet again," and you'd say the same thing over and over again. So in my mind, yeah, it ain't real. So I'm not bothered. And Vanessa, we met once at a party. It was some award ceremony, and you arrived with a Vogel, and I was there on my own. And you could have like taken pity on me and said, "Oh, hang out with us," but you didn't. So in my mind, I'm thinking, so I've got this wonderful view of BB people. I really like Jade Goody. She was fantastic and really friendly, even though she didn't meet me.
Really? Jade Goody, yeah?
She was really friendly. She didn't know me. I wasn't in her show.
Bloody
And she
hell.
said to me, "Hi, Becky." And I was like, "Oh my God," taken aback. That was really sweet. Because, you know, but other people, I was thinking, I'm in the show with you.
Let's
And
not
they're
speak ill of the dead. She's not here to defend herself. You know what I mean? I'm happy. Look, Becky, it must have been really. It must have been. It must have been Emma. I don't know what demons you've got. It's not about you.
No,
just
no,
relax,
I wasn't saying
man.
that about you.
Relax. It's all good, man.
I wasn't saying that about
Becky.
Yeah.
It must have been really difficult for you to come in into that situation. Obviously, the house was divided. It was torn apart. You know, people and people have relationships that were healing, and then you come in, and it's a divisive. You know, it's an outsider, someone who's got unknown agendas. You don't know what. Naturally, people will retreat to a place of comfort and talk about you behind your back.
Can I just point something out? You all say, whoever said Jade Goody was a lovely person. Jade had never, ever met me. I never said one bad word about that girl. Bear with me 1 second. I never said one bad word about that girl in the house. Yeah. In fact, I said her name once because someone said, "You remind me of Jade." When I got out of the house, she was writing poor
guys. I thought
me.
this was going to be a positive thing, you know that, like Lewis, you came at me, bro.
But you're not saying anything.
And you said this was going to be a
reunion. How can you say someone's nice when you haven't been on the other end of that?
You look great. You've always been a blessed guy. I'm sorry I was an arsehole afterwards when I came out of Big Brother and said some stupid shit about you afterwards. I was childish, and and because I've been thrown out of the Big Brother house for being a dickhead. Because I own up to my own behaviour. I said some silly shit. You was always cool, Dan. Even if it was a game, you was good. You know what I mean? And I respected you as a person in there. Vanessa, I've always respected you. You're a nice girl. You know what I mean? People judge you because of what they see at face value. You know what I mean? And they should really get to know you. You know, like when I first met you in the auditions, I thought you was a dickhead. You know what I mean? You thought I was a dickhead. Yeah. You voted me out in the auditions. You voted me out in the auditions, you know what I mean? But then we become like, I actually like you. You know what I mean? I was pissed when you left. I was pissed off. I was pissed off that I conspired to get rid of you because Emma had come back. You know what I mean? They were in hiding, so I got rid of you. It was a natural sequence in my head. Sorry.
You know conspired to get rid of everybody at one point.
Yeah, well, but that's the game, Dan. That's the game, Dan.
Brilliant.
That's the game, Dan. Get you before you get me, innit? That's the truth.
And Victor, I think
before you get me, and where you can, let's have some fun.
Going back to that at the beginning, I think with Emma, I completely understand what Victor's saying there in regards to Jade. You know, with no longer being here, it's hard for for her. She's not going to be able to defend herself. So I get that, but also Victor. I mean, at the beginning, I think Emma was actually giving you a compliment in the sense where she was saying, like you just said, it is a game. And you went in, and I do think you did the game very well. You know, you weren't fake. I don't think you were fake at all. I thought you were very real. But I mean, she
I
was saying
wasn't clever enough to play the game.
you've done really
No,
well.
I think there was a lot of ignorance in all of us. I'd never ever watched Big Brother before, and I didn't realize it was it was kind of a game.
Yeah.
It's like real life. It's real people. It's real emotion. So it must be hard
Well, it's
to
not.
realise it's a game.
Okay,
There's a
it's
prize
not-
at the end. People leave every week. It's a fucking game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus,
It's a Hunger
there's
Games.
another thing.
It's survival of
There's
the fittest. It's a popularity
I
competition.
And
But
we've got no
people leave,
control
and there's a
over
prize
the
at the
end.
end.
As a game.
Sorry, we've
I
got
wish
no
we
control
could do
over
all
the
There's a
end.
over
million.
again.
There's a million ways to get to the end. There's a million ways to get to the end. Some people, it's easy to get to the end by just
Can I-
being themselves, floating through, not getting into too much. Just that,
Yeah.
you know, there's different modes. There's no one way to
Victor.
do it, but people will
Victor.
find you out if you're not yourself. They'll find you
Yeah,
out.
but Victor, even when you are yourself, the editing crew, they edit you how they want. So you're
Yeah, but
Oh,
you've done
yeah.
that though. I get you, but you've done that. You've done that. You know what I mean? If you
Yeah.
don't do it, they can't
Wow.
show
Yes,
that.
but also,
Yeah,
if
yeah, you're right.
you don't do it, if
But
you
you're
don't
right as
do
well.
it, they
I get
can't
you.
show it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Editing was
It's like
ridiculous.
it's like what you said at the start, Lewis. You said Emma was giving me a compliment. Like she said something about my family saying that we weren't going to get on. I don't think I don't know about that happening. I heard a different story where they said that someone in Emma's family said Emma and Victor will get on. She's always wanted a brown bear or something like that. That's what I heard. No one
Okay,
said
yeah.
anything, right?
Chinese whispers. Yeah.
Talking about my son, talking about me being on the toilet of my son.
Yeah.
That weren't even that was from something else I'd filmed. It was a still from something I'd filmed. Do you know what I mean? This isn't about any of that. Like, I don't have any beef with you, darling. I don't. If you've got anything you would need to get off your chest with me, if you think that I've done wrong to you, and you're still carrying that shit around, I'm sorry you're carrying that shit around. I'm not carrying it around with me. You know what I mean?
I am very blessed. I don't carry it around with me.
Then it should be all good, then, innit? There's no need for no indirects or any of them thing there. You know what I mean? I'll just
No.
talk to you straight. We're just here right now. If you've got any shit you need to get off your chest to say to me, you can say it. I'm here. This is your chance.
I'm not as vocal.
I mean, Emma, like I said to you,
Can't
I
do
mean,
no more, guys. Me can't do no more. You get me?
Emma, I mean, when we went in, we were talking, and I announced that you were going to be on this, and people went crazy because, like I said to you, there, as a fan's point of view, there did feel like we were shortchanged because everyone started to really like you. You were extremely popular, and I actually think, just for me as a fan, just a personal opinion, I don't think you were ever playing a game in there. I thought you were very
I
much
genuinely
real.
wasn't. I wasn't intelligent enough to do it, and that is being genuinely. I'm genuinely honest. I was myself. I didn't realise it as a game. I genuinely didn't. But a funny story, just a quick one. I'm going off on a tangent. I did like a what's it called? A survival course with the kids. You know, where you have to work out the clues and everything. You know, to get out. Yeah, like, no, it was like in like
Escape room.
Yeah,
Oh.
escape room. Escape room.
Okay.
Basically, after 5 minutes, we would have all been dead. I couldn't do it. I was like, no. All the kids were going, Emma, this, that, the clues in. I'm going, what the fuck? I haven't got a clue. But no, for you know, for the hardest thing for me was going in that room on my own, back in that bed sit, and seeing everybody make up, and it was just unfair that I couldn't make up with everybody, and then I got arrested or something on them lines, and for whatever. But yeah, it's
And I
pretty,
think
pretty shit.
that's the first time in that show that we got to see the producers set something up. They kind of knew what was going to happen. You cannot put people in the situation that you were put in and then go back in the house and expect everything to be okay. So
It was the editing.
Yeah.
It was the editing. They completely, I think at one point I said to Michelle, you know, like the cameras that are behind the glass walls that we used to have, and I said something like, can them cameras though take a still picture, because it was like a filming camera. And so Michelle was like, yeah, and they played it out as if I said, can cameras take pictures? And it was just completely not like that at all.
Yeah.
So,
You've got to remember,
yeah.
you've got to remember though that back in those days, 16 years ago, they weren't as on it with mental health as they are now. And I said at the time that there was at least 2 people, maybe 3, that shouldn't have been put in that house. And I've said it in interviews, Emma, and I thought you were one of them. Because you were so naive, and you say to yourself, say to people that you're not intelligent. There's different types of intelligence.
Well,
you might not be academic, but you're perceptive, and you can exploit people that wear their hearts on their sleeve like you do. And that's what happened. We were all exploited. It's just how differently how we all dealt with it. And the producer, Shirley, at the end of it, she said to me, she said, I didn't want to lose any one of you out of that house. She said, if I had it my way, she said, you'd have all been kept in till the final 2 weeks. And that says a lot about every single character that was in that house.
Mm-hmm. Would anyone do it again? That, you know, they never asked me ever to do any go back or do any interviews or anything like that. You know, after a few, so we're talking at like a few years now, like since past 5 years.
I don't think anybody has, especially on Big Brother 5, because they know.
Victor did. I mean, he's drinking it. He was invited back. He's a Big Brother legend now.
Milking it, I know.
Who? Nah, go on, carry on. You kicked out. I was listening. Go on.
No, I mean, you went in. You know, you returned in the 10th year anniversaries, and I mean, you've been very open when you've left the house. You've kind of embraced the Big Brother experience, and you've done many interviews when people ask you. So it seems like you enjoyed your time. You have fond memories because you're happy to talk about it and join people's interviews and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, put it this way, like, if you do things intentionally and you know why you're doing things, you can look back and hold yourself accountable for what you did and what you did and what it meant to you and what you felt. Yeah, I'm happy to. If it's positive, I'm happy to. I don't really tend to stray into too many negative things these days because there's a lot of negativity around me, and just in the world in general. So this thing here back then was a positive. You know, I was a young man, just university, so to speak, coming from where I'm coming from. Not many people go to university, but I had that as an opportunity that I created for myself. So I went through with it. Big Brother was something that I sort of got into with a silly bet with one of my friends and had to come through. And I did it. I auditioned once, got on the show, met some cool people that I hadn't been exposed to these types of individuals in my everyday life. I learned something. And I wasn't looking to learn anything in there, to be honest, but in a really strange way, I did learn something. And I learned how to move around different types of people, because like I said, in this world, you've got to be adaptable and able to learn how to move around different types of people. Otherwise, you're going to get eaten up. That's the truth of it. And along the way, you have fun where you can.
I mean, when we look at the winner, the winner of the show, Nadia, in each of your opinions, a deserved winner? Were you happy that she won the show?
Yeah.
Everyone?
Yeah,
No.
I really liked Nadia. It was great friend.
I think it was done for her to win because of it was kind of like embrace the transgender.
I think it was given the opportunity. It wasn't done for her to win though, because I mean she could have been some other character, but she was genuine and she was OTT. She was pure TV. She was pure camp. She was pure everything and genuine, you know. And she was like, she came at the right point. And I don't think they made her win. I just think she literally was so OTT, so watchable. You couldn't help but be on the edge of your seat with this kind of character. You know, the way she laughed, the way she was
rigged, Becky.
Yeah, I'm gonna interrupt Becky, because the thing is, I can remember when Victor and I met at auditions, and then we had Pete there, and he had obviously the thing, and it's so funny that the following year, you know, it was a different character that won the show. It's like
spot on.
But Pete was also really charismatic. I met him at a wedding. I think I met him at Kitten's wedding or something. you know, and he was
I just think there's a lot
eating
of
some guy's lollipop.
there's a
And
lot of pressure on companies, TV companies, to be aspiring to be seen as forward thinking.
okay,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, sure.
I mean, like all of these people, all of these people, Endemol had lost a lot of their sponsorships and endorsements because BB4 was dog shit, was toilet. So then they needed something big. They needed something big to come back with. They chucked in a bunch of maniacs. It went off. And how are you going to finish it? The first transgender winner or some black guy?
Yeah, sure.
It's not going to be the black guy. You're going to go with a transgender. It couldn't be the gay guy. We've already had the gay guy.
I agree
You know what
with
I mean?
you there,
Like, boom,
Victor.
transgender. Like, all the go back and check tape. If you watch BBLB and them things, expert after expert, celebrity after celebrity, pro Nadia.
Right.
After a certain point, every week is something about Nadia. Oh, the odds on they bring in the bookie. Oh, the odds on Nadia. They're programming everybody to vote for bloody Nadia. Do you know what I mean? Nadia was Nadia was the only housemate. Nadia was the only housemate to come into that house. Nadia was the only housemate who walked into that house not equal to everybody else. Nadia had a storyline. There was already
that might be the case.
there was already a whodunit.
The only
You know what I
one
mean?
I actually made good friends with.
Themselves.
She's the only
Now,
one that I found.
I don't care either way, but that's how it happened, didn't it? Those are the all
Sure,
these
it might
independent
be.
adjudicators.
That might be
Like
how they.
a year later, or a
Might
year or two later, they had a golden ticket winner. You go through the crowd. You got Vanessa might remember this. You go through the crowd, right? Do you remember Vanessa? There was a woman that I must have asked about her boobs in the audition, and Kitten went batshit crazy at me, right? The camera pans across, and I see her, and I went, "It's going to be her who gets the golden ticket."
Yeah, and the weird thing is, before I was on the show, there's a newspaper that kind of released something, can't remember, and they put me and the girl that won the gold ticket the following year as. So I guess the whatever newspaper it was is aware years ahead of as well. So they're really probably connected to Big Brother, you know, I don't know.
And there was some kind of super dodgy relationship between Endemol and John Knoll Management Agency. There was something weird going on with them as well, man.
Am I missing something here? Can somebody fill me in? What's the golden ticket?
Oh, okay. It's the chocolate factory.
That was in 2006. Susie, she's called Susie, and she won the golden ticket to go into the house.
She was very delicious. I met her.
Oh, Susie's lovely. Honestly, really nice.
Drink.
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
Re-up, man.
Oh, what a shame. I'm sorry, guys.
What I'd love to do is ask everyone what life was like after leaving the house and what you do now. So it'd be great to because obviously you touched upon it earlier. You've gone in there without any fame, and then overnight you're in every magazine. You're getting asked to go to different celebrity parties. So I want to kind of talk about what life's been like since leaving the house and what you all do now. So let's start with Dan.
Well, I didn't change what I did. I was able to do lots of things. So stock and trade hairdresser. I used to DJ and I had a band. So I was able to do all of those things. I worked on London Fashion Week as a hairdresser. I toured with the band and I toured as a DJ. And then also in between doing all that, I did TV work as well. But I realized quite quickly that TV work, I wasn't really that into it. I didn't like the arse licking that was needed to stay there. And I'm an honest speaker, unfortunately, and that doesn't work in television. So yeah, I was very glad when things calmed down and I was able to go to the shop without being bothered. But it was at one point it was really quite, as Vanessa would say, quite hectic.
She's back now. Becky, what's life been like for you since leaving the house? What do you do now?
I've done so much. I'm not actually doing very much at the moment, apart from writing songs and, you know, occasionally do some music. But after the show, I think I got involved in some radio. I had a radio show for 2 years. I did some, I don't know, so odds and sods. I became sales with Tony and Guy, the Canary Wharf. So that was quite like a serious job as you can have for me type character. And then my parents became ill, unfortunately, and I gave up work to look after my parents.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
2 years ago, my mum died, and April, my dad died. So actually, effectively, for the last 2 years, I've been very depressed and working my way from suicidal thoughts into slightly happier thoughts.
Yeah.
Anybody want a violin? I don't play the violin, but if somebody has it, please play it for me.
Becky, my dad died 2 years ago, and I found it really happy. We had a good relationship.
Condolences.
A good relationship.
Sorry to hear that.
I think when you have quite a strange like a hard relationship with your parents. I mean, I don't know how your parents were with you, but it like I was fine. Like I had this like amazing, I'm fine for about 2 months, and then everything went downhill and I literally lost the plot. I took out life insurance. I was planning my own death. You know, it was like really dark, and I ended up having very strong antidepressants to kind of get back
balance.
to normality. The thing is, with the antidepressants, you don't feel anything. You're not in touch with who you are.
Sure, you're numb.
Hard thing, and eventually I weaned myself off them, but you know, it's tough when you lose your folks. It's really tough, and I'm sure
I was dealing through a kind of, she had you know, it was dementia, and it was just a long drawn out process of watching somebody slowly deteriorate, slowly vanish. And you know, when you give up your work in order to make your life for somebody, to make, you know, their life worthy of something near their end. Anyway, it's demoralizing, but yeah, condolences for your loss, and I'm glad you're over. Yeah,
Sorry to hear you,
make
man.
you strong. Yeah.
Well, I was happy when I started this interview.
Sorry.
I feel like hanging myself now.
Emma, I mean, like,
I've got some rope here ready for.
we don't hear a lot from you. Like I said, you stay away from Big Brother related stuff, and it's nice to see, because you look really well, and it's just nice to hear your side. So what's life been like for you since leaving the house, and what do you do now for work and everything?
Well, I had a secret wedding. I didn't know.
Ooh,
I'm just going
congratulations.
through a divorce. Vanessa's been through it. Vanessa's on my Facebook page, so she's been with me on this journey. So I had a secret wedding. We're now going through a divorce. Thank God.
Divorce.
Yeah, I had a big furniture company and a massive warehouse, and I used to sell. I used to import from China 6 containers to 7 containers a month. So I did really well. I was a business owner. I'm just
congratulations.
Thank you.
Why did you decide to like part ways?
Because he was very controlling, and he just wasn't a very nice person. Just wasn't nice at all.
The dog was amazing. Like, he was so besotted with your pup.
That dog breaks my heart, because I can't, obviously, because I don't know where Bobby is now. But yeah, so I just we're setting up another company, which is a big, it's kind of like a courier company, and that's in the pipeline. And I do part-time working with children.
That's incredible. I don't know if I spoke to Vanessa, if I'm imagining it. Do you do anything with fashion? Like, do you make your own clothes? No, I've made that up then. So.
Where do you find one?
I make some of my own clothes.
Maybe that's where we're getting confused. And Victor, what's life for you like now? Because I follow you on Instagram, and like at times at the moment, you know, as a nation, everything's kind of, it's down, isn't it, with the lockdown? And you post some really cool, funny stuff. So tell us what life's like for you now.
Thank you, bruv. Yes, it's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I've got a part of a cannabis lifestyle brand in the UK during Prohibition era over here. If you can imagine the alcohol industry during Prohibition era, this is what's going on over here in the UK. So I'm part of that. We operate within the legal parameters. in different territories. So in the UK, it's, you know, clothing, merchandise.
Okay, cool.
Grinders,
Now I
Twizzlers.
see. Now I understand.
Yeah, you know what it is. You get me? Mama didn't raise no fool. So
Yeah.
So we've got our trademarking. We've got our own strains. We're going to be moving over operations to America, to Toronto in Canada, and the legal territories in LA, so to speak, etc., etc. I was in California in December. The only thing that's slowed it down really is coronavirus, but we're going to get there. And we're going to be part of the first wave when it goes legal everywhere on the ground. That's what I do now.
And what about you, Vanessa? Because I mean, you popped out just then. So what do you do now, and what's life been like for you?
I work for a lord and lady.
Very nice.
Yeah, well, so I work for the Duke of Norfolk's brother in a very old Gothic kind of establishment, and I look after them. So before I came into Big Brother, I was a PA. And then when I came out of Big Brother, I took a little bit of time off, went traveling, and did that. Then I got a job as PA to the CEO of a large corporate company. So I did a lot of traveling with that, going to different offices. We had New York offices with advertising agencies and various. And then I fell pregnant, and then everything went tits up.
Gorgeous.
So
bet.
He is. So I had this boyfriend, on and off boyfriend, for about 3 years, and he was South African, and I saw him across a drunken bar room, and I was like, whoo, snaked my way across that. And so we had Jack. We went back to South Africa for a little while. It didn't work out. So I've been a single parent for the past 11 years.
See, you've still not met anyone, have you?
No, I've met somebody.
Right, yeah.
I'm so independent. I love my space.
Yeah.
I live in the house. I live in the countryside.
Yeah.
But, you know, do I want to lose all of that? I like my space, you know. So we do kind of weekends.
Yeah. Isn't it nice living in the countryside, babe?
Yeah. So, my son, he's my world. I love him. He is a dark version of me. He's obviously, I think he's gorgeous. He might not be gorgeous to anybody else. He does a lot of swimming, and he plays basketball, and he wants to be better than Michael Jordan. And you know, he's my world. I mean, I'm into sports, so I love encouraging all of that. And you know, I kind of work to live. You know, I haven't blown the world away with anything too fancy. We might be doing a TV show about the people I work with at some point towards the end of the year. So you might unfortunately see me back on the screen.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, come on, come on. No. Right. Enough of all this, guys. Come on. Right. Now, where did you, before you went in, who thought they was going to win? That's what I want to know.
Oh, good question.
Before they went in?
I want to put my hand up. Can I just say something? I never, ever, first of all, I never watched Big Brother in England. I only watched the Australian Big Brother. And because I watched the Australian Big Brother because I was living out there, I thought my brother would be amazing candidate because he's tall, good looking, and he's so freaking quick. Him and Victor would have been annihilated each other with their like kind of chats. You know, they would have either hated each other or just loved each other because they were like.
Hey, I'm super chill, you know. Anybody
no, but you're clever.
Yeah, competition sometimes is a bad.
Well, listen, if I'd been in the house from day one, I would have won. But unfortunately, I wasn't there from day one. Do you understand, guys?
yeah, we understand, Becky. Yeah.
All of you,
Why would you have
including
won?
if Nadia was here, I'd say the same thing to her. I don't care.
Why would you have won though? Huh?
Yeah, Becky, why do you think you honestly you believe you went in from day one?
Oh, well, okay. I was laughing because but really, I think if people would choose based on your heart and your ability to love your human neighbor, I would have won on that, right? But that's not what you win. You win because you can play good games and you can.
You're joking, Becky. I don't believe you. I think you're winding everyone up.
Oh, don't know.
I'm serious.
Wow. Okay.
The whole thing's a game. I mean, like if
Yeah,
you really
it
grew up,
is.
if you really grew up in slums and you really grew up in real serious places, then you're gonna know how to operate in certain parameters, innit? I didn't know what was going on. I'll be honest. Like once I got the phone call to tell me I was going on it, I started watching random episodes of random things.
Okay.
What the F was going on?
Research.
What the hell have I got myself into?
Yeah.
I wish I'd done that, and that, I mean, that obviously it's bright, it's perceptive, it's calculating, and you just
well, it's preparation. It's just doing your research.
I always was going in with my brother, and it's only at the end that he got pulled. He took himself out. So
right.
Oh wow.
Going into Big Brother, and so I had him to kind of rely on. But he decided last minute that he wasn't going to do that.
Oh, okay.
But if it would be interesting, because I always just go back now, because the girl that looked after me on Big Brother for the 2 weeks whilst we were out of the country, she now does all of the is that Love Island?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So she does all of that. And I mean, we were talking about two-dimensional people. I mean, they're two-dimensional people. They're so fucking boring. They've just got tits and ass, and that is it. I mean,
I can't even. I've watched one.
It's so fucking boring.
Nauseating, frustrating.
It's entertaining because it's so bad.
They can't even hold a conversation.
Dan, let me ask you a question, Dan.
Yeah.
So before you went in, like you're a bright chap, you know what I mean? Was any of what you were getting up to, was any of it part of a game plan, or were you just floating through and thinking like, okay, I've created a nice lane for myself here, like I might? But was there any of that in anything that you were? Did you think to yourself, like, because when I was on Ultimate, I had a convo with Brian Dowling, and he was saying to me that he'd spoken to his agent and like, they're just not going to have much conflict, that kind of thing, unless you're backed into it. So, like, was there any of that in you at any point while you were going through the process of living in the house?
No, I hadn't watched Big Brother. I didn't really know what it was about, and it never interested me. And when I was in there, I just thought the best thing I can do is just be myself. And I thought, given my lifestyle before going in, I thought I'd be like the party animal. I thought I'd be the biggest character in there. But faced with you lot, oh my God, I was just stunned into silence. Yeah. And that's basically what happened. I just picked a lane and I stuck to it. But one thing I did enjoy was being able to gently mock, because you guys were so easy to pick an accent from, or pick a, to mimic. And I just adored it. And it was so funny. It was entertaining. It kept me entertained, being able to mimic you guys. Yeah.
This isn't a bad thing, but I asked it in some of the ones that we've already filmed. Who, in all of your opinions, was the most genuine in your year? But who do you think was playing the biggest game when you look back? we probably know the answer to one of them. So maybe we'll leave that one out. I think he wears that quite happily.
He was genuine.
And that's what made me genuine. And that's what made me fucking genuine,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
This is what I'm doing, innit?
Yeah, and Victor had an amazing way of doing it because he included the audience into his game, into his conspiracy. He was in with them, and then he was playing the game with them. So that was a really nice angle, you know. Whereas I'm not sure about the realness and truthfulness about some of the characters that I had the, you know, a chance of meeting in the house.
Like who? Let's get spicy in there. Let's get just drop a little bit of pepper sauce on it.
Please don't hate me, Dan. I just can't help it. But one of the things that you said was near the end. Was like, I think
I'm the quiet one out of everyone
he didn't
now.
leave.
Say that again.
I think there was one moment you said, "Oh, you know, if I was here at the end, I will just leave." But you didn't. So there was that. You know, that was it was like, don't say it and not do it. I forgot his name. The other guy sorry, Emma, you're good friends with him. He's got a toupee recently.
Who?
Marco.
Yes, Marcus. I found Marcus, who was supposed to be a lawyer. I thought he was going to be a bit more intelligent, or at least be able to argue, you know, cohesively. And I just found him to be a little bit empty and dim. But, you know.
Oh, just quickly. No, Becky. No one can say that you're wrong to feel how you feel, because that's how you feel.
He's a lovely guy, though.
Marco's a cool guy. He's really intelligent. He's really funny. Like, Dan's a really cool guy. Like, these are the two guys who on the show who surprised me the fucking most, right? Dan and Marco. Those two dudes were funny as F and smart as F.
Yes.
But I get
they are.
I get that
everybody is amazing. Everybody's amazing in their own way.
But Marco's
I'm
not
just
here,
telling you from my experience.
And Dan can speak for himself anyway. Sorry, Dan.
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody is wonderful.
What you said, Becky, about when I said if I was here by a certain day, I would leave. Everybody, I think, in that house said something that they didn't mean, or that they later regretted, or whatever. I remember that particular time when I was really pissed off with everybody in the house, and I was it was a stressful time for like myself, and
probably had enough.
It was just got to me when I thought, you know what, if I'm still here at the end of this week, I want to go, because that's how I felt at that time.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
When we have the live night, and then we have the party afterwards, and everybody, you know, kind of it moves on.
Sure. Yeah.
The next day you wake up and it's a different day.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But then Vic remembers what you said, didn't it? So he's like, Dan.
And then
I was probably trying to wind you up with that as well. I was properly trying to get in your head. I was like, right, I've been in because you were like, yeah, I don't think the producers will let me leave. So I've gone and got the welcome pack in it, and then gone into the diary room and said, yeah, just wanted to check if a housemate actually wanted to leave, would you actually let them leave, even though there was nothing physically wrong with them, and they weren't any danger of physical violence? And they went, yep, they could leave. So I came back in to tell you. And you were like, yeah, you were trying to think. I can see you were trying to think of your next move, innit?
That's mean.
Well, Victor's like the brother,
but he was,
you know,
the
cheeky brother.
He was going to outlast me. So I've got to try and make him leave or something, didn't it? But I don't want to be mean. I'm not going to try because I like the guy. Ain't it? So I'm like, you know, if you're gonna put yourself in a situation,
he's brilliant.
Just give him a little nudge.
Yeah.
This has been one of my favorite
people we don't like.
I'll say this has been one of my favourite reunions, because I've done them for 1, 2, and 3, and 4 so far, and everyone's come on, and there's people that have fallen out before, and they've kind of put it past them. But this is what you would kind of want to expect from Big Brother 5, like all these years later, it's still going. But do you know what's really nice for me?
Still holding on to our baggage. Yeah,
it's just nice seeing, like, especially like Victor. I've never interviewed Victor, but he's still the same as in the house. Emma. Still, I mean, if anything, Emma, I think you've changed. It's nice to see you. You seem to be quieter today, but you're
not
just
a clown anymore.
You never were a clown.
I've not got me jazz hands.
But honestly, Emma, I was always a fan of you, and I think you were very mistreated on that show, in my opinion. I know a lot of fans think that, and I think the way you handled it was classy, and I think you should always look back and be proud of the way you handle that situation. And then Becky, we spoke a few times, and yeah, you're exactly what I'd expect. You've not changed at all. You're still as kind of out there as you were. And then Vanessa, you know, you look exactly the same. We've spoke before, and it's been amazing having you on because you're a great housemate. So, and Dan, of course, sorry for giving you so many dates for this, you know, to do this reunion, but it's great to see you. Are you glad that you've reunited?
Nice to see every single one of you as well. Really, really nice.
I want to go back in the house and have like, let's have a week together and just like chats.
Do you think they'd ever do it? Do you think they'd ever put us all back in the house?
We could go. We could rent out a place.
So cool. If you had, we have to be 20 weeks. If we had a week with each group.
Yeah.
Ever.
Wow. Yeah. Vanessa, that's a good idea.
What I'd like to do,
reactions of how it interplayed with that time and this time.
And now.
Okay, well,
yeah, 100%.
we could do a tour bus. Me and Lewis could interview all the people in our tour bus, and we can take them for a couple of days and interview them.
You know, yeah. What is that? Is that it now, Lewis? So we reached the end of our time, or are we still going? That's what I'm trying to find out.
That's it.
Take care then, everyone.
Unless anyone's got anything else to add.
All one of you. I'm my fans out there. My one fan. Mom, thanks for listening.
Everyone, like, I hope genuinely that you all, you know, stay safe, stay healthy, go on and do the best you can for yourselves and be the best version of yourself you possibly can.
Peace,
right?
respect.
Life's too short, guys. You know what I mean? You've all got some kind of place in my heart for that time of what.
Have you seen the size of his heart? Tiny.
Yeah, but I'll give you what I can, though. Don't worry about that, Becky.
I'm joking.
I'll always find a positive to put on the end of it, sweetheart. Don't you worry about that. Yeah,
you're also
lovely.
lovely.
Be good, man. God bless you.
Thank you, Victor.
Yeah, Vic.
And thank you to everyone. Anyone got anything that they want to add or want to say to each other before you go? Because it's been a long time. Have you enjoyed it? I mean, for you, Emma, seeing everyone again, because it's been such a long time and you've stayed away from Big Brother, even though you and Victor clearly still clash. Has it even been nice seeing Victor again?
I think, yeah. I just think, it's nice.
It's hard to let some things go, you know, and we are still, although we've moved on in years, we are still who we are, you know?
Yeah. I've let it go. I just don't think I have the energy for it. I'm a little hermit now.
Well, we all are. I think we're all damaged in some way by that.
When you look back at the people you've reunited with today, has anyone changed the most? Like, you're kind of surprised anyone that you've not seen for a while?
No, everybody's who I expected them to be exactly who they are. Do you know what I mean? Awesome. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, before you come on these things, you think, okay, is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? You see the names who are going to be there. You go, okay, and it just turns out how it is, isn't it? So
we are who we are.
You are who you are. I don't clash with anybody. You know what I mean? If I hear rubbish, I say it's rubbish, isn't it? Don't have to be offended if you think what I'm talking is rubbish. You say it's rubbish, isn't it? It doesn't really matter, does it? You know, there's some people who are doing really good, really healthy. Becky, I'm sorry that you were feeling like this, and I hope it wasn't anything to do with being associated with Big Brother, because as Dan said, it's a sausage. It's a meat grinder. The thing is a meat grinder.
It is.
And a lot of people afterwards,
you knew what you were saying.
We're pretty messed up afterwards. Like, you know, like sometimes I would wake up in the middle of the night and think I was still in the house, and be like,
wow,
where's Ahmed?
Wow. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's just a little bit techie, you know. There were some very strange things, and what they put us through as people would have broken lesser people, and some people shouldn't have been in there. I agree with that. There was people who, if I think about it, that being in that house was the last fucking place on earth, that especially maybe in different years, maybe in one of the years before, when it was nicer, but not being in Big Brother Gone Evil. Some of them fucking, because they get like, I saw people cracking like eggs on a daily basis. Cracking.
Who was that?
Losing it. You know what I mean? People getting stuffed in rooms.
Do you remember when Chanel finally lost it to you? Do you remember during the wedding task?
Oh, yes.
Chanel lost it a few times.
And it was the funniest thing. She was in tears. She had mascara down her face. She looked like Alice Cooper. And she turned to Victor and called him an absolute cunt. And he went, "What did you just call me?" It was
Didn't see it coming.
priceless.
Mate, didn't see it coming.
It was so funny.
Did not see it coming, Dan. Did not see it coming, mate. Like,
Yeah.
walked into it.
Honestly, this has been amazing. I know that fans of the show are going to love to see so many of the big characters come back together after so many years. And it's been entertaining today because we've learned stuff about the show we didn't know. Emma and Victor were still Emma and Victor, so you've not changed, and people are going to love that. And it's just nice to see how genuine.
There's no Emma and Victor. There's no Emma and Victor. There's Victor, and then there's Emma, isn't it? You know, there's people like that.
No comment.
Yeah, you are so great,
It's been amazing. Thank you so much for giving your time to take part in the reunion, and I really do appreciate it because I know it's taken, you know, you've had to take time out of your day to come and do this. So thank you so much.
Are you going to go off? Can we carry on chatting?
Yeah.
So there we go. I did say it was an explosive episode. It was hard to kind of mediate that one. But it was great because I found a lot of them had changed. Like Emma, I was a big fan of her on the show, and it was nice to see her and actually hear her side of the story. And Victor is just a Big Brother legend. I love Victor. Vanessa's amazing. Love Dan, and Becky was great too. So it was great to have them on the show. So don't forget to tune in on Monday for my Big Brother 6 reunion. And if you've missed any of the other incredible episodes in my series, check the description link below.